We are less than a week away from Memorial Day, and that means summer almost upon us. But with the season comes more travelers hitting the roads, and that can mean more distracted driving. Larry is outside now the studio with what you should watch out for during this holiday weekend. Larry?
Absolutely, Audrey. I'm here with Melissa Wandel. She's the president of the National Coalition for Safer Roads. And believe it or not, last year, we motorists ran red lights and were ticketed for running red lights more than 3.7 million times. That's just the tickets involved. Does that number shock you at all?
Unfortunately, it doesn't, because when you combine all the states where people are running red lights, it really shows the epidemic that we have in our society and how people are not paying attention, running red lights, and then lives are being lost.
I know some of the numbers you have that the peak time when we run the most red lights are Fridays 1 to 5. Not much of a surprise there.
Yeah.
Hey, this is very personal for you because your husband was killed by a red light runner just 2 weeks before your daughter was born.
Absolutely. It was devastating. You know, he just left to get a quick bite to eat with my brother, and on the way home, a motorist ran a red light and took his life. And it ended right there, and 2 weeks later, our daughter was born. You know, so it was a game changer, and I needed to take that moment and really embrace it and try to find a way to work through it and get people to understand, you know, when you take a moment and you run a red light, it's not just, oops, sorry. You know, lives change forever. That includes the people that run the red light as well as the people that are affected, like my husband who was killed and my daughter who will never know her father.
Right. What are some new behaviors we can learn to unlearn the old habits of saying, you know what, it just turned red, no one will notice, that kind of thing? What are some things we can keep in mind?
You know, we need to be mindful. Knowledge is power. You know, we now know that there's 3.7 million people that ran a red light in 2014. So we need to be mindful when we get in our vehicles. We need to teach our teens. We need to teach these people that are in our cars what safety is. We need to be leaders and not followers. We have the power to take our driving back. We have the power to save lives. And when we've got to stay focused in our vehicles because these are loaded weapons, and we need to say, you know what, I'm going to set best practices while driving in my vehicle. I'm going to know today, knowledge is power. I'm going to be mindful. I'm not going to be one of the statistics, and I'm not going to take somebody else's life.
We've got just a few seconds left. What are some initiatives that you want people to remember starting Memorial Day weekend as you get out on the roads?
Yes, well, Memorial Day weekend is the worst, and it's between 1 and 5 when people are running red lights. So we want to make the motorist aware that, you know what, get in your car, put your seatbelt on. You know, we've got teens driving, they're getting out of school. We want people to stop at red lights. We want people to wear their seatbelts. We want people to practice best mindful decisions when driving in their vehicle. We want everybody to have a great weekend and stay safe.
Okay, thank you so much for your time and for your passion for this. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having us today.
Sure, nice meeting you.